Okay, so back to the story. So anyway, when I get to the hospital, the nurse comes out to ask me and the CNA what happened. And if you're trying to figure out what I'm talking about, you have to go. This is a continuation because my phone cut off. So anyway, when the nurse comes out to ask us, and I'm just like, we're just trying to tell her whatever, whatever. And our first question is, well, did he make it? And when she said my patient didn't make it, she might as well have told me one of my babies passed away. She might as well have told me something like I have never, I had never experienced that kind of pain before, you know, because I had never lost a patient before, and I don't even think I had really lost any family members like that. So I had never really experienced that kind of sadness, and I literally cried for weeks. I didn't even want to. I think at that point I had been a nurse for like 18 months. And I cried for weeks. I did not want to do nursing no more. I was just like, you know what? My internet. Remember to guard my internet. Remember to guard your privacy. I don't know what's going on with my internet, but anyway, God basically in my dream took me to earth, to heaven. That's how I feel. That's how I see it. I had a I went to sleep that night, and when I woke up, when I went to sleep that night, and in the dream, I felt like it must have been maybe an angel or somebody came to get me in my dream. And I'm this me and this person. I'm guessing it's Jesus or an angel or something. They flew my body up into past the clouds, and we were out in the galaxies. Like I could see the planets. And so me and whoever this was in this dream, it was an angel or Jesus or whoever it was, we were floating through the clouds until we got to this planet. And when we got and I literally seen us float. We were passing by planets, and then we landed in this planet. And in this planet, the first thing that I recognized was the beautiful, beautiful flowers. Like I had never seen. The leaves were so green. It was like the greatest HD movie that you could ever see. That's what I saw. And I don't know what happened to the guy that was with me, but there was a park bench. And so I know I'm looking at this beautiful scenery, this like the most beautiful park you've ever seen. I'm looking at all this scenery, and I walk over to the park, the picnic bench, and I sit down. And when I sit down, my patient, the young boy who had never, never, all the time, but he just had the most beautiful heart. I just loved him. But in the dream, after his death, I could tell it's him because of his face. I know his face. I know his smile. Hello, Annie. I know it's him. He said, Patricia, I'm okay. And he's smiling at me, and then I wake up. And I promised to God for many years, I could not tell that story without crying. I know that there is more to life than what we see. God allowed me to see it. When my patient died, I thought I wasn't ever going to recover from that. It made the passing of my grandma and my passing of my father, it made me be able to handle it a little bit better. Because I had never really lost anyone up to that point, not anyone that was close to me. And definitely never as a nurse. It took a long time for me to, you see, even now, I can't even, he been gone. It's been, gosh, that happened when I was like 27. But I still remember it like it was yesterday. So whenever I run across someone who's grieving, like one of my patients or something, I always tell them about that dream. I always tell them about my patient and about that dream. You know, when people die, they transition. You know, energy can never be destroyed, only transformed. You know, you remember that from chemistry class. You know, when rain comes from and it's a cycle. So when we pass away, that's why when you go to funerals, people don't never look like they did in life. Like who was that shell? Out, they ain't look like him. Well, thank you, Annie. I appreciate that. You know what? I believe it was. Love is. I believe it was because I couldn't function. The morning was so bad. I was 26, 27 years old. I didn't know how to handle the death of a patient that I had grown to love. I didn't know how to handle it. My ex husband, because at that time I was married, he had the nerve to be a little bit jealous, like, what you crying over this guy for like this? And I'm just like, you don't even understand. So don't, you know, huh? I'm telling him about my experience when I was a nurse. Yeah, I started telling him about my experience with one of my patients and start crying. I can't help it. Hey, this is my 31-day challenge. I'm trying not to smoke. Yeah. So the thing is, I have smokers in my house, and so they gotta understand. What's the promise? What's the promise, Kenny? You will not what? But you're gonna help me with my quitting smoking by not doing what in the house, by not what? Right. No, I'm just telling them. That's what you said. I'm not. I'm not smoking. I'm doing this. So this is helping me. You gotta you gotta visit you gotta focus on something else. So love is. I believe that dream was real. Because it was after that dream that I was able to recover. I was able to get through the mourning process. I was able to accept and move forward and still do nursing. But for a while, I didn't even want to do nursing no more. I didn't, oh my God. So I believe he did come to visit me. Love is, I believe he did. I believe that God sent him to earth because he knew I wasn't going to be able to go on like that. I believe that God sent him to earth. In my dream, or better yet, came and got me. Came and got me in my sleep and gave me a trip so that my spirit could be at peace. So that's why I do this. I've had so many experiences where I know it was nobody but God in my life, in my life, that you know, I'm able to do this Bible study. And at first I didn't know, I always wanted to do this, but I never get past the here, there, thus, and thems. The King James Version was just not, it was too much for me. I never could understand it. So I started praying and asking God for a Bible that I could understand. And then once he gave me a Bible I could understand, then I guess it was time. Wow. I, and it was so vivid. My phone is acting up, so I don't know how much of this is gonna let me um, finish. So I'm gonna get right in this in a second because it's not acting right. But I'm on my challenge, y'all. I'm on my 31-day challenge. Today is day one, July 22nd. No cigarettes, no cookies, no candy, no cigarettes, cookies, candy, no chips. That's a lot for me. But what you just said, you said, said, vivid dreams of the dead are real, 100%. you'll see on the other side, you will be able to do the same thing. Jesus. If what I saw in that dream is what heaven looks like, heaven is beautiful, 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 peaceful, peaceful. My patient allowed me to see that. Yeah, that. Yeah. Anyway, keep me. I'm gonna try to keep y'all posted on this 31-day challenge, y'all. That's a double challenge, but I'm gonna do. That's a double challenge, but I'm gonna do this because I believe that God will help me do it. Anyway.